Franklin TV presents Franklin High Girls Varsity Lacrosse. It's a return home for your 9-2 Panthers as Franklin welcomes in the 4-6 Mansfield Hornets. Hi neighbors, I'm Ryan Martin, joined alongside camera operator and producer Chris Leverone for this one at Piscini Stadium. Franklin, after 2 straight road games, amidst a 4-game winning streak, and that being the Lincoln Secondary Red Raiders, as well as a matchup earlier in this year against Westwood. But since then, it's been Franklin. They've won 5 in a row, actually. But right now, they're looking to get things going against Mansfield. Mansfield 4-6 right now. They've been struggling as of recently, lost 4 in a row, though. So maybe they'll be able to find some magic here against Franklin as we're just about to get started with this one. Stick checks, but just finishing up here at Piscini Stadium. Franklin getting ready to go. The Panthers, 104 straight victories against league opponents, looking to make it 105 here against this Mansfield team in their first year in the Davenport League. 4-6, as we mentioned. They have a bit of a bigger team, though. We'll see if that happens. Much more storylines to come on this one as we're just about to get ready to start here on a cloudy day at the Franklin High campus. About 55 degrees here, but there's a huge black cloud that's been hanging over the high school all day long. Not forecasted for rain, but certainly looks that way. As both teams enter here, let's set the starting lineups for both teams. So first, from the visiting Mansfield Hornets and their head coach, Mark Kiley. In goal is number 1, senior Caitlin Zajac. She's joined on the attack by number 7, Ava Adams, number 11, Kiera Fitzpatrick, and number 23, Rose Maher. Joining her as other starters, number 8, Cami Chantelier on the defense, number 15, Carrie Colby in the midfield, number 16, a freshman, Tessa Johnson in the midfield, number 17, Loa Variaki in the midfield, number 19, Maeve Anastasia in the midfield. Some music malfunctions right there as we're getting this one ready to go. As we finish off the starters, Ella Palanzas and Stella Moore round out the group. For Mansfield, for Franklin, they start a collective bunch of seniors, including in the middle, it's Katie Peterson, her attack mates today. It's number 9, Katie Ryan, number 6, Emily Mahoney as Peterson wins this one, Jamie Tanner starting, as well as classmate Caitlin Carney. And let's wrap up the defense here for Franklin. It's Norma McCollum, Vera Hansen, and Julia Flynn. And in goal again, it's the junior, Ella Mahoney. Franklin getting this attack started, and this is what they like to do. Coming inside and scoring our first goal of the game, it's Katie Ryan. The junior gets it done right there. She had a big game 2 games ago, a career-high 3 goals in that one, and she gets us on the board here first, just a quick 26 seconds into this one. So as we get that one going, don't believe there was an assist for her, but some milestones to watch today, including senior Caitlin Carney, the James Madison University commit with 198 points. 198 heading into this one, could certainly hit that 200 mark here against a less formidable Mansfield opponent that now finds themselves down 1-0. We'll have to see. Keep watching that one. Speaking of Carney, she picks it up right here, but instead Mansfield's able to get to it. With it now is Laura Veraki. Veraki will hold this one for a moment. This Mansfield team coming in averaging about 11 goals per game, but they're giving up 12 in that span, about that 500 team that we mentioned. Franklin's numbers a little bit more impressive, scoring on average 17 goals per game while only allowing 4. Here to Ava Adams on the attack, more to her later. This one keeps swinging around. Onto the stick now of Rose Maher. Inside she goes, trying to back down a defender. Can you get a shot off? No. Good defense there by Peyton Crandall, who scoops it up now for the Panthers. Ball's still loose. This one picked back up by Mansfield. No one wants to control it. And now Peyton Crandall out and running. She leaves it up here for Kearney. Franklin on the transition now, up 1-0. To her sister, Emily Kearney, who leaves it left to Lindsay Atkinson. Franklin trying to be patient now. They'll hold it for numbers. 6 collegiate commits on this Franklin team. And on the attack right now, 5 of them featured. Behind the net, it goes to Kearney. Kearney goes back out to Atkinson. Atkinson thinks about a shot. Now pass it, Tanner. Tanner can't get to it right there. Jamie not able to pick it up either. Ball still up for grabs. Who wants it? Finally goes out to Emily Kearney, the sophomore. Tanner top of the key. She now looks, brings it around here. Atkinson thinks about a shot, tries to go inside to Kearney again. That ball loose. Good defense so far from the Hornets, who have just been playing like gnats in there, pun intended. Our first whistle of the game gives Franklin a free start. Our referees today in this one, it is Gary Slickman making that call right there. His partner today, Matt Merton. Consigli. Back out to Atkinson. Tanner with some room in front of her. Thinks with the right-handed shot. Instead gets it to Peterson. Peterson trying to weave her way through. Again, Mansfield just not letting that happen. Another whistle that time. Merton with the call. This is the best opportunity so far. Even better than the play that they scored the goal on. It's Katie Peterson, the UMass Amherst commit. From the free start she goes, and goes bottom left. She can't find Pater, though. Mansfield pulls it away, and here they come. Stella Moore loses this one to Katie Ryan. Here's Ryan. Past the 30 she goes. The goal scorer. Back right to Mahoney. Caitlin Kearney behind the net. Sees some room, tries to go wrap around again. It goes just wide of the crossbar. Consigli sees it, picks it up, and Kearney does the same. Kearney with it in traffic is able to weave her way out of it. Ryan with some room inside. Instead she goes for Tanner. Tanner takes the pressure right there, but is still able to find back right. The Sacred Heart University commit and senior captain. 2-0 now Franklin. Tanner. As we have some new stats for this one. Big shout out to head of the Franklin Girls Lacrosse Boosters, Derek Peterson, providing us with these statistics. Jamie now, that's goal number 21 on the year. On the team, she is 4th right now in goals scored. Franklin's leading goal scorer right now in the middle, Katie Peterson. As we said, she's got 31 to her name through the 11 games played. 2-0 Franklin. Just about 4 minutes through this one. Kearney wins the draw again. So we keep watching that 200 mark for Kearney. No assists on either of the 2 goals, and obviously she was the one who scored them. So we'll keep monitoring that closely. 2-0 Panthers, though. This goes back in her direction again. Atkinson tries to go inside. We have a whistle that's coming from Merton again. And they'll say, from the left starting position, it'll be Atkinson. Merrimack College is where Lindsay's heading to play lacrosse next spring. Seeing what the senior can do right here. Tries to go bounce up again, but good save made there by Caitlin Zajac. Senior captain's had a pretty good game in goal so far. Back right it goes. Franklin tried to get it there to Kearney. That one, Gary Slickman makes the call. And they'll award it to Katie Ryan from the far back line. Franklin, the most goals in the Hawkmock League this season. Kearney tries to go inside. That one should just go right on the crossbar. It popped out there. Some debate on that one, and they'll give it to her now. Caitlin Kearney Career point 199 for Kearney. And again, it's a senior finding some success here. 3 goals, 3 different goal scorers for Franklin, just over 5.5 minutes through. That's what makes this Franklin attack so difficult to defend, especially for Hockomock League opponents that just haven't had success against them in the last couple of years now. 104 consecutive victories for Franklin against Hockomock League teams. Kearney just seeing that chance right there, and she doesn't think twice about getting downhill. Back in the middle, again, it's Peterson. Kearney picks it up off the controlled draw. And here comes Katie. Now passes it to Lindsay Atkinson. Atkinson back to find Ryan. Good interception right there for a moment by Ella Palanza. She causes some chaos right there, but still it's Franklin able to pull it out. Here is Tanner. Tanner takes it herself, still able to weave through it. Back out she goes to Kearney. Kearney resets it with Peterson. Peterson calls the ISO. She'll go right. Instead, she'll find Kearney. Kearney, left-handed shot. Can't get it to go. Good defense there by the Hornets. Her sister Emily Kearney picks it up and keeps his Franklin attack going. Every time you think you have a stop on this Panthers offense, I should say, they find a way to get the ball again and keep the attack on. Really, I think we've maybe had 1 possession overall by Mansfield that you'd call it that. Not only is Franklin goalie Ella Mahoney not really in action anymore as this one tries to go inside to Peterson, but the whole Franklin defense kind of just staying in their spots on the left-handed side of our Piscini Stadium field. Atkinson tiptoes the line, and he'll say that there was a penalty against Mansfield. Atkinson with the free start again. Atkinson goes right, tries to bounce it up. Ended up being a good pass to Caitlin Kearney, who will try to run this Franklin offense now. Emily back to Caitlin. Caitlin up top to Tanner. She'll take some steps back. 4 girls behind the net right now for Franklin. Does Tanner take it herself or look for a teammate? It'll be Tanner taking it herself. Left-handed position now. She finds it to Peterson. Peterson can't get it done. Whistle there by Slickman. Tanner now, already 1 goal to her name in this one. From the free position she goes. That one tipped away by Zajac, but just avoids her stick right there, and it scatters on in. 4-0 Franklin right now. 2 goals on the stick of Jamie Tanner. Two goals for Tanner. 1 apiece so far from Caitlin Kearney and Katie Ryan. Our first goal off the free position, though. 4-0 Franklin, and this is kind of what the Panthers do against Hockomock League teams. That could change, though. That could change against maybe a different opponent. We don't want to already get into who Franklin's facing next, but a storyline to come on that one a little bit later at why Franklin has a fascinating away game coming this Monday. But for now, it's Mansfield winning their first draw control. Can they pick it up now, the ground ball? This could be huge if they could finally get something. We have a whistle there by Merton. And here we go. It is the Hornets. Controlling it right there, but then again, a quick possession here, and Franklin changes field positions in a hurry. Kearney to her sister Emily, back to Caitlin. Caitlin doesn't have the right angle. She'll wrap it around. Left side she goes. Does she have another wraparound goal? Tries to go, fakes high, instead goes low, and number 200 for Caitlin Kearney. 3 years of the varsity program. She wasn't able to have her freshman year due to COVID, but now 200 career points for the James Madison University commit. And the senior, with a cause for celebration on the bench. Her teammates did know of that. So now number 200 for Caitlin Carney, as that makes it 5-0 Franklin. So that one will come at the 16-19 mark. Just a few games after it was Carney's classmate Katie Peterson who scored her 100th career goal. It's now Peterson with point number 200. Only a handful of players in Franklin girls lacrosse history have been able to say that they have that achievement. And now Caitlin Carney can etch her name there. Still a bunch of games to go here in this regular season. Then obviously Franklin looking for a deep playoff run. But for now, here comes the Hornets. Ferracini stops, tries to go left-handed shot. Can she get a shot on net? And that one will have a Panther player lose their stick, but Peyton Crandall picks it up. And Mahoney touching the ball for the first time, coming on a pass from a teammate. Now with Nora McCollum. McCollum weaves through it and gets it to Peterson. Back to Carney she goes. Again, here's Franklin with numbers. It's 5-on-4. Finds the open teammate. It's Atkinson with some green in front of her. She tries to bounce it up. That one just goes wide left. Wasn't able to sneak through the post. Franklin again setting up their offense here. Just 10 minutes through this one. Franklin already with a 5-goal lead. Tanner leaves it for Atkinson. Atkinson again, trying to find some space. Again, it's a good idea by Franklin to try and get it to the teammate in the middle, but Tanner just not able to get her stick in that weird way. And put herself in a position for a shot. Taken away right there by Franklin and Julia Flynn. Again, the attack for Franklin, having their way with it. They're controlling the pace completely thus far. Caitlin Carney. Looking for a teammate already. 2 goals for her. Gets to Atkinson. Atkinson looking for her first. She gets it right there. Bottom left she goes. And it looked for a second like she was going to bring that big right-handed shot and try to go wide, but instead she keeps it in close. Gets it to the right of Zajac. And now it is 6-0 Franklin. 14-11 left to go in our first half. So that one just 2 minutes and change after Carney's second of the game. Atkinson etching her name now in the scorebook. For Lindsay, once again, we mentioned Merrimack College she'll be heading to next year. That is goal number 21 on the season. If you look at the career numbers, goal number 57 as well for Atkinson. Free positioning coming now. On the right side, it's Peterson. Katie still without a goal so far today. She has a couple assists. And she won't go for the shot on this one. Instead, leaves it back to Gabby Consigli. Back right to Atkinson it goes, and again, just this circle motion trying to find the cutting lane are the Panthers. Caitlin Carney gets a mini screen from Atkinson. Does she have space to her right? Not before a call is made there by Mike Merton. Matt Merton, we should say. And the call, again, it comes on the Hornets defense. So it's Carney leaving Mansfield in a vulnerable position. Does Caitlin have the hat trick already? She tries to go for the behind-the-back shot. That would have been one way to make this a 7-0 lead. Instead, it's Mansfield with some life and now some patience here. Or never mind, as they try to go for the Hail Mary. That one up for grabs now, controlled by Mansfield. Really have to value these possessions right now if you are the Hornets. So few and far between. Right there, it's the Panthers swarming and pulling the takeaway. Franklin not with numbers. It's a 2-on-4 right now as Peterson enters the picture with Caitlin Carney. It doesn't look like Carney was holding up for teammates, though, but before that happens, another call against Mansfield. So started with Carney. Peterson has room to her right, and she goes to her right. Tries to even things out. Now with the left-handed shot. What a move there from Katie Peterson. Just swerving her way through. You thought she had it to the right, and she says, no, I'll bring it to the left for a second. 7-0 Panthers are score now, just over 13 minutes through, and the first time out called by Mansfield and head coach Maze Kelly. And for Kelly, it's a game slipping away quickly right now as Franklin puts another goal on. 7-0 their lead right now for Franklin. And the last time these two teams played, it was a similar situation. That one ended up being a 20-2 win for Franklin. And we're kind of seeing some similar storylines as we saw in that one. Franklin, 20 goals, 11 different goal scorers. And with Peterson netting that one, that is the fourth goal scorer. No, 1, 2, 3. That's the fifth goal scorer already. So 7 goals, 5 goal scorers for Franklin, 2 goals apiece for Carney and Tanner. Can we see Franklin reach that number? Maybe. But so far, this offense has looked unstoppable, and they've had their chance after chance and really controlled the game throughout. Brief moment right now. We'll step aside on the commentary, but coming right back up will be both teams coming out of timeout. Obviously, Franklin with that lead that they'll look to build on here. The final 11:53 remaining in the first half. Together, the chant for Mansfield as they come back out onto the field at Bassini Stadium right now. Unfortunately for the visitors, they find themselves in a 7-goal deficit right here as Franklin is continuing their Hockomock League dominance right now is what we've seen so far through this one. Let's see if Mansfield can play with maybe a little bit more of that togetherness that Franklin's been playing with so far, and frankly has been able to grow this lead because of. In the middle circle again, it's Peterson, and joined again by number 26, Ella Souza for the Hornets. And this one again, it's Carney just coming out of nowhere, picking it up and starting off the Jets. Franklin will hit the brakes a little bit right there on the attack. Being a bit more patient, which is something we've seen them do. Peterson leaves it for Caitlin. Carney again gets it to Tanner. How about this weave for Franklin? Tanner with some space. She'll go with the right-handed shot. Back left. It goes for Tanner. Give her the hat trick. Make it 8-0 Franklin. 11:17 left to play in the first half. Franklin storylines just keep getting more prominent as they keep getting it done on offense. Great weave right there. I think that's a more unique way we've seen Franklin score so far. Because we had that three-person weave, and that's what you do, I guess, when you have such great attack, as it's Souza and Peterson again in the middle circle. So many options for Franklin. You don't know if they'll leave with Carney, and then Carney leaves it for Peterson, who you have to be nervous for anyways, and then Peterson can say, all right, I'll just find it with Jamie Tanner, and Tanner will do the rest, as we saw right there. And all three girls running again on the attack for the Panthers. Here is Tanner, fresh off her third goal, finds Atkinson. Katie Ryan gets it to Emily Carney. Carney still with it, now a loose ball. Ground ball scooped by number 7 again. Carney retrieves it, and she gets it to Atkinson. Another whistle now coming against the Hornets. A pretty good position here for Atkinson. 1 goal so far for Lindsay. Atkinson, will she go right for the shot? She does, and she finds Paydirt. Atkinson, her second goal of the game. That one might have gone 5-hole, if not just to the right of Caitlin Zajac, in goal for the Hornets. Regardless, it's 9-0 Franklin, and the Panthers are on the brink. Maybe won't get there with only 23 left, but they could have a 10-goal lead with still 10 minutes left in the first half. We'll see if that happens. But right now, it's Franklin just rolling right now on this attack. In fact, that goal coming just 56 seconds after Jamie Tanner's third goal of the game. It's Atkinson netting her second. And as good as the success has been for Franklin, talking with Coach Kristen Garino in her 11th year at the helm of this Franklin program, it's a little bit tougher, as that one will redo the draw. This time it's Caitlin Carney joined alongside Mansfield's Ava Adams. So Garino in her 11th year, Franklin, her 11th year for Garino, 12 straight league titles for Franklin. As Carney gets things going right now, what Garino said, talking to her pregame and then after a couple of their Hawkmock League games, is when you're going against teams like this, though, against the Hawkmock League opponents, and then all of a sudden you're playing a Westwood team ranked number 3 in the state, as this one goes left to Atkinson. Inside, she finds it for Carney, and Carney just snipes it with her back turn. Caitlin Carney, with one of the prettiest goals we've seen so far this season, does a no-looker for her hat trick of the game. So as we were talking with Garino, though, teams like this, when you're playing against a Hawkmock League team and then you have to go up and compete against a Westwood team, that's like going from 0 to 100, she said, and looking for options now in which you can kind of get your experience and get some tough games against harder opponents before the playoffs, where Franklin has not had the success recently in capturing state titles that you would think a team this dominant in the regular season has had. So right now, that kind of just fits the script again. Franklin having their way with Hawkmock League opponents. 9.5 minutes left to play in the first half, and Franklin already up 10 goals. So we'll see if it's Franklin doing their usual of getting these starters their reps, and then also sneaking in some reserve players to try and get them some more minutes, as they've done against these teams with a lead. That one, an errant pass. Still Franklin closest one to it, and it's freshman Vera Hansen who keeps in play for Franklin. Juliana Owen, one of those reserves that we just mentioned. The pull-up from junior varsity now into the game. Inside it goes to Atkinson. Good give and go right there. And good shot there from Atkinson. It's Lindsay Atkinson working right there with Katie Ryan. A give and go. And just like she was on the basketball court, Atkinson takes in that pass and lays it up. 11-0 Franklin now, 8:15 to go. Another goal coming less than a minute after their most recent one for Franklin. Atkinson, Carney, and Tanner now with a hat trick apiece. They account for 9 of Franklin's 11 goals. The other 2 goals, it's Katie Ryan with 1, Katie Peterson with another. And draw controlled there by Ava Adams, who a lot of this Mansfield team would consider is their focal point on offense. Adams, I should say, it's Mansfield with possession right now. Last year, Hockomock League second team for Adams. 52 goals and 5 assists last year for the then junior. This one's still controlled by Mansfield. Franklin laying off the pressure a little bit. As we kind of talked in their game against Bishop Feehan, where Bishop Feehan had so many players who played for the Gold Star Lacrosse club team, coached by Kristen Garino. Adams falls in that category too. So Franklin head coach Kristen Garino is her club lacrosse coach, so a lot of familiarity right there. Adams will be playing Division II lacrosse next year up in Vermont at St. Michael's College. And inside goes Mansfield right here. That one not Adams, instead it was Stella Moore. And here comes Crandall. Crandall. Inside good feed, she has it now to Carney. Carney a 2-on-3. Finds it to that one other teammate, that being Katie Ryan. Not able to bring in the pass there. Keeps it from going out of play though. Owen leaves it here for Liza Kudish. Kudish now gets it to Hanson. Hanson brings it around to Emily Carney. A lot of underclassmen now in this lineup. You talked about those reserves trying to get some more reps here. And Kristen Garino wanting to help them in that way. Carney to Owen. 5:45 left to go in the opening frame. Owen. Behind the net to Carney. Carney leaves it for her sister, Emily Carney. Back to Caitlin. Caitlin thinks about it for a second, but maybe a whistle meant to benefit Franklin right there on a Mansfield play. But it was Carney with a good position right there. She'll have a free position here to try to get another look at it. Already with 3. And number 4 for Caitlin Carney. Chalk it up as a 12-0 lead for Franklin. And even 5 minutes left to play in this first half by the time our ball is dropped in the middle circle. Actually, no, that'll be goal number 4 for Caitlin to lead all scorers in this one. Nothing Franklin, as we have another new face in the face-off circle for Franklin. It's Emily Carney joining Ava Adams, who we just highlighted for this Mansfield attack. One of 5 Mansfield seniors in a group that roster size definitely outweighs Franklin. 23 players at the varsity level for Mansfield, only 17 for Franklin. For Mansfield, they're led by a big junior class. Out of their 23 players, 12 are juniors. 5 seniors added on, and then 5 underclassmen. For Franklin, their biggest group is actually sophomores. There's 6 seniors, only 3 juniors, 7 sophomores, and a freshman for Coach Garino. Obviously, that's helped out a little bit with some of these JV call-ups for specific games. I believe in this one, that number goes from 7 sophomores to 8 sophomores with the addition of Juliana Owen. Consigli. Back up to Katie Peterson, who re-enters the game. Bear Hansen leaves it here for Kudish, able to get a stick to that pass. Carney to Juliana Owen. Owen gets it back to Gabby Consigli. Consigli figuring things out. Here's a set play by Franklin. She has a cutter inside to Tanner. Tanner didn't even take the shot right there. She probably could have. Franklin, once again, just working on these fundamental plays right now. Peterson. Danson, she goes back up. It goes to Jamie Tanner. Franklin content to be patient with this shot. We saw by Tanner's, they could have had a goal or two by now already in this possession. But really just emphasizing the ball movement, that togetherness that Mansfield mentioned in their huddle a little bit ago. Peterson. Back out to Owen, loses it for a moment, picks it up off her own ground ball. This possession now has to be at least 90 seconds without even a shot attempt by the Panthers. Just around and around it goes. Call it the merry-go-round offense for Franklin. Now trying to set something up, it's Franklin. Emily Carney, head of steam coming down. Gets pulled to a bad angle though, and instead leaves it for Liza Kudish. Kudish intercepted right there. Good play by the Mansfield defense. And number 15, Carrie Colby. Check that again. Caris Colby. Colby still with it. Turns defense into offense. Tries to get it in the direction of Palanza. Palanza losing that one though to Peyton Crandall. And here comes the Stonehill College commit. Leaves it there for Liza Kudish. Kudish keeps things moving to Emily Carney. Carney left to Katie Peterson. Good pass inside to Consigli. Good find for Peterson and good shot for Consigli. Gabby, her first goal of the game, puts Franklin up 13-0 as we're under a minute to play in this first half. What a feed right there from Peterson. We talked about her ability not only as a scorer but also passing. That on display right there is that's had to have been a 20 to 25 yard pass. And Peterson able to find a wide open Consigli. And after that, it was just a date with Consigli and Zajac, and Consigli wins that one. Mansfield, a rare face-off win right there. Credit to Ava Adams on the control. Palanza tries to get a shot on. First save of the day made by Mahoney, and it comes as the buzzer sounds and closing off our first half. So really the best chance of the game for Mansfield, if you can even call it that, coming with just seconds left in the half. And for Franklin, you can't say it's been that same storyline. The Panthers up 13-0 here through the opening 25 minutes. It's been all Franklin right now as the Panthers look to win their 105 straight Hockomock League game. We're going to step aside here for halftime, a little 5-minute break here, but can Franklin keep up that dominance, maybe get some reserve play in, and we'll see if there's actually some changes in goal. Coming up here, the second half, it's Franklin Girls Varsity Lacrosse on Franklin TV. And we're back here on Franklin TV, whereas your Franklin Panthers, 9-2 on the season, they are having their way so far with the 4-6 visiting Mansfield Hornets. Hi, neighbors. I'm Ryan Martin alongside camera operator and producer Chris Leverone. We thank Chris for all of his work here today. Franklin, after the first 25-minute half, up 13-0 on their visitors from the Davenport division now in Mansfield. Franklin has kind of had their way, as the scores indicated so far. 13 goals scored and 6 different goal scorers for Franklin. They're led by Caitlin Carney, who just scored her 4th goal of this game. Good enough for 200 career points for Caitlin. Carney with 4 goals. It is Atkinson with a hat trick, Jamie Tanner with a hat trick. It is Katie Peterson with 1, Katie Ryan with 1 as well, and Gabby Consigli adding 1 for the home team. Again, Franklin going from now right to left across your screen in their home white uniforms. Mansfield looking for some more offensive possessions. They'll be going from left to right in their away green. First whistle of the second half. And what is still, we mentioned that cloud in the first half, still a lot of gray looming over the Franklin High campus and at Piscini Stadium. Rain not in the forecast, though, but it really does bring out the foliage of the trees here. Looking all over the place as Franklin has a 13-0 lead. But more to come. Atkinson. Up top she goes to Tanner. Tanner inside feeds it to Katie Ryan. Ryan thinks about it for a moment. We'll set this attack for you, which has been so dominant for Franklin. With it now is Jamie Tanner. She passes this one to Lindsay Atkinson, Katie Ryan, Caitlin Carney, Gabby Consigli, and Katie Peterson. So just as I was about to introduce them all, Franklin brings it all the way around, and every player on the attack touching the ball for the Panthers. We're playing this patient style of offense right now with a big lead. Consigli. Back out to Atkinson. Or Katie Ryan, this is. Now Tanner. Who can move it inside for Franklin? Coached by Kristen Garino in her 11th year at the helm of this Franklin program. So many stats can show the dominance that this Franklin team has had recently, who are your number 4 ranked team in the MIAA at the moment for Division I. Atkinson. Gets a screen there from Tanner. Still no action yet. His possession now 2 minutes and change through. Good step up right there by Ella Palanza. Who's the last one to touch it? They'll award it to Franklin. Peterson brings it up for the hosts. Left she goes to Consigli. Consigli looking for her second, and she gets it off the bounce. Bottom right, Consigli went. Again, Franklin aiming low, and then they're able to bounce it up high. Consigli netting her second of the game, 14-0 Franklin. Just over 3.5 minutes through the halftime break. Katie Peterson again in the middle circle with her Gold Star Lacrosse teammate. We talked about that connection in the first half, but it is Kristen Garino, the head coach for Franklin Girls Lacrosse and the owner of Gold Star Lacrosse AAU Club Lacrosse. Obviously, a lot of girls in the Franklin program playing for Gold Star, as well as a lot of girls from Bishop Feehan when we talked about that when Feehan came to play, but also Ava Adams, the St. Michael's College commit, a star on the Gold Star Lacrosse team. So a lot of her club teammates and her club coach on the other side here today. Consigli. No hat trick for Consigli yet. We'll see if she can get it soon with still 20 minutes to play. Dropped there by Peterson. Starting with it is number 4, Shay McBride. She'll leave it there to Paige Caro. Some confusion right here. Once again, our 2 referees on the day. It's Gary Slickman having a conversation right now with Paige Caro of Mansfield. He's joined on the far side by Matt Merton. Clock running as this conversation. Just some explanation between Caro and Slickman. And Atkinson gets things moving again for Franklin. Here's Julia Flynn. Bring it with Consigli. Back up top to Flynn. Sun starting to peek her head through as Atkinson gets a shot, fires, releases, and scores. Lindsay. That is goal number 4 on the day for the senior Merrimack College commit. And that big black cloud that we were talking about earlier. Trying to make way through here for the sun. Some shadows appearing on the field. It's been all sunshine for Franklin so far. 15-0, they now lead it. Running from left to right and scoring top right corner. Ryan, her second goal of the game. The first goal came 26 seconds in. Now this one comes 37 minutes in. 16 zip, our score so far. In the middle circle again, it's 7 versus 7. Sophomore Emily Carney versus Mansfield senior Ava Adams. Again, they try it. Probably the best sun that we've had all day here at the Franklin High campus. Oh, it's been a gloomy couple of days. All of yesterday's sporting events, girls lacrosse only had a practice, but all of their sporting events were canceled due to an absolute rain fest that we had yesterday. It was crazy on and off throughout the whole afternoon. You'd have huge showers for about 10 minutes, and then it would stop all of a sudden for 2, just to bring it back a minute later. Inside, good chance for Mansfield, and they net their first shot. Converted of the game. Some good cheers right now from the Mansfield bench. It's Lola Veracini, a junior midfielder, ending the shutout here for the Hornets. 16-1 now, the lead by the Panthers. So after allowing that first goal of the game, Franklin back to set things up. Pulled in there again by Veracini. Veracini was some room with the left-handed shot. Can she get another one off? She can, but save made there by Mahoney. Nearest one to it is number 23, Rose Maher. you may remember from Mansfield hockey. She was a senior captain on the hockey team. Now with it inside, another shot on that one. A great opportunity coming from Ella Palanza, the sophomore. Just over the net it goes. And again, though, it's Mansfield. Spin move there for Adams. Got a whistle first. They'll try it again. Good position here from Adams, though. The Division II lacrosse commit at St. Michael's College. Adams, she'll try to get a shot on. That one hits the back of the net. Wide left it goes. Scooped up there by Maher. But the Franklin defense right on her. And it's pulled in by Caitlin Carney. Carney, big pass upside to Consigli. Closest one to it is Mansfield. Again, it is Mansfield starting the attack. Inside to Adams. Good space for Adams. She tries to bounce it up there. And they'll award it to her. Ava Adams, we talked about how she was a focal point of this Mansfield. No, not yet, not yet. They'll give it a whistle first and give her a starting position. So can Ava Adams use the starting position? I'll bring her to the right side here. Good position for the righty. Whistle from Martin. Shot from Adams. Goal from Adams. Now 2 in a row all of a sudden for Mansfield. Still a 14-goal deficit as the mountain to climb. But some reason to smile if you are this Mansfield bench. And head coach Mary Kelly. Carney and Adams do it up once again. Control off the draw by Owen. Franklin really hasn't had an offensive possession in about 2 minutes or so. A long time if you were sticking around here for our first half. Hanson. Out left to Emily Carney. Emily still looking for her first. Her sister's got 4. Back now with Nora McCollum. A whistle coming right there. So who will it be for Franklin on the free position? It will be McCollum, the junior. Usually on defense, but some switching around here with the score as it is. Here is McCollum. Does she test senior goalie Caitlin Zajac now? Or does she look for the pass? She does look for the pass. 2 taps and a shot on net. That one going from McCollum to Emily Carney. Liza Kudish puts a shot on just wide left it goes. And switching field positions, it's Mansfield on the attack. Palanza leaves it back again for Veracini. Inside to Adams. It finds Adams, puts one on. Can't get it to fall. Back with Maher. Rose Maher, some dangerous position inside. She tries to jump and get a shot on. Isn't able to find it. Scooped up now by Mahoney. Loose ball there. It is Gary Slickman contributing the whistle. Good evade there by Peterson. She gets it to Juliana Owen. Franklin's been held scoreless now for the past 7 minutes. We'll see if that changes soon. As they approach it, their attacking third, still pulled away though by Mansfield, whose defense has gotten significantly better than our opening half. Scoop up there by Grace Nesbitt. McCollum. Inside she finds Carney. Carney not looking to rush it again. She has Hannah Blongastainer open to her left. Blongastainer gives a give and go again to Carney, and it works again for the Panthers. Emily Carney, her first goal of the game. Breaks that drought that we just mentioned for Franklin. Puts them back up by 15, 17-2 now with 10 minutes to go in our game overall. If they're going to give it to you, got to take it if you're Franklin, and that's exactly what happened between classmates, Blongastainer and Carney. The two sophomores in connection right there as Emily nets her first and heads back into the middle circle for the faceoff. The sun starts to set a little bit more, maybe a slight wind coming in from the far side. Again, it'll be Carney and Adams to draw things up on the faceoff. One away by the Hornets. Again, it's Veracini. Lola Veracini, a sophomore who's had her name called quite a few times so far since we returned from halftime. And she's with it now. Veracini working on Owen. Gets it inside, just can't control with it. Knocked out of her stick. Do it on the free position. Again, it's Veracini. Good test here for Mahoney, who's had a couple plays she wants back here in the second half. Veracini goes straight on. Wide left it finds. Maher close to into it. No, instead the words of Franklin. Give it to Julia Flynn, who will start the rush for the Panthers. Consigli. Up to Carney it goes. Emily Carney, her most recent goal scorer, gets it back to Lindsay Atkinson. Franklin dropping a few more of their starters into this attack to try to get it going. McCollum can't keep it into play. Instead, it starts with Mansfield and number 8, Cami Chantelier. Chantelier tiptoeing the line with McCollum defending. They'll say it is Chantelier getting it again. A little too aggressive on the defense was McCollum. Good pass up ahead. It goes to Kiera Fitzpatrick. Here's the junior. Fitzpatrick had some green in front. Instead, she'll wait behind. Get it to Maher. Maher backing down a defender. And gets it back up to Palanza. Palanza shot on goal and gets it to hit. And so they've been able to find some creases right now, some holes in this Panther defense. Some things you certainly want to work out if you're Franklin. That is the third goal of the game for Mansfield. 17-3 our score now as we look at some of the past games for Franklin. Obviously 104 consecutive victories against Hockomock League opponents. And really, as we look through so far, the most goals a Hockomock League opponent has scored on Franklin this year, that would be 4 goals. That came last Wednesday against King Philip. Couple threes so far, but really, this is about as good as it gets right now for Hockomock League opponents. facing Franklin in terms of the offense against the Panthers. I'll have a little bit more on that coming after this possession. McCollum. Back to Atkinson. She leaves it for Blongastainer. Nesbitt way out right to Carney. Bit of a off the mark pass. Instead, it's Carney able to get to it. Nesbitt finds space, instead goes back out to Blongastainer. Blongastainer left to Atkinson. Atkinson thinks right, gets swarmed right there. Inside she finds Caitlin Carney. Carney tries to do a wraparound shot as she backs down a defender, instead goes over the top. Closest one to it being Liza Kudish, so Carney to restart again. Inside, good find there to Nesbitt. Nesbitt just can't get up for the pass. Franklin still controlled though. Nesbitt. Back up top to Atkinson. Kudish brings it back to her. Final 4:34 to go. And what looks like it'll be Franklin's 105th consecutive victory against the Hockomock League opponent. We talked about how they really haven't had any challenges so far against the Hockomock League. I mean, they've obviously had their way in past years. But on Monday, they travel to Foxborough. This is a fascinating game for Franklin as the Panthers content to be patient with it right here. Franklin has on average, as Carney gets blocked right there. Good save made there by Zajac. On average, they have outscored Hockomock League opponents by 12 goals in the games that they've won this year. All of a sudden, they have a run-in with Davenport's top team right now, the Foxborough Warriors. 10-1 Foxborough is. Franklin's going to be 10-3 after this game, 10-2 after this game. Foxborough 10-1, your number 5 team in Division 3. This Warriors team poses a great threat to that record as Franklin is able to get some defense right there. We have a substitute goalie. It's JV call-up Maisie Kittredge into the game. She replaces Ella Mahoney. Mahoney allows the 3 goals in this one, and getting some reps now is Kittredge. That one up for grabs, but Foxborough hasn't played Franklin since last year. They're number 5 team in Division 3 right now. The Warriors do have a game at Canton today, but Canton is about middle of the pack for the Hockomock League this year, so you think that Foxborough would win that. And if they do, if Foxborough is able to win that one, as that one goes along, 2:46 left to play in this one, that means that Franklin will move to 8-0 in Hockomock League play, and they'll travel to Foxborough, who will also be 8-0 in Hockomock League play. Sets up a fascinating matchup at the Warriors' home field. So we'll see what happens in that one. That one's coming this Monday, April 8th. May 8th, I should say. In fact, this is a Foxborough team that actually beat Mansfield in Mansfield's most recent game. That was an 18-6 win for Foxborough. It's part of a 4-game skid that Mansfield's on right now, looking like it'll be 5 straight losses as this one winds to a close. And one person to keep your eye out for Foxborough. Certainly a great game that, if you have the ability to get to on Monday, Foxborough hosts Franklin at 3:45. As this one into the hands of Nesbitt. Nesbitt with some space. No goals in the game yet for this one, but again, it's a whistle against Mansfield that Franklin will take from the starting position. If you're going to that game on Monday, Foxborough hosting Franklin, watch out for Paige Curran. Paige Curran, the Hockomock League MVP last year, wasn't any member of your 18-3 team last year for Franklin. It was Paige Curran, a Stonehill College commit, as Grace Nesbitt nets this one. You can feel the excitement that the players have for Franklin for that reserve, scoring a goal right there. 18-0 now our score. The senior Nesbitt, her 3rd goal on the year, gets it done. Paige Curran, a Stonehill College commit, was 2nd in the Hockomock League last year in goals scored, and she's been equally as dominant this year in that game that we mentioned against Mansfield. An 18-6 win at Foxborough on senior night. Paige Curran, now a senior, 7 goals and 2 assists in the win for Foxborough. She is their top scorer, obviously, but she's kind of what that offense works around, so it'll be fascinating to see how Franklin's able to counter out that after a big win here against Mansfield. Franklin-Foxborough, it's coming on Monday. Unfortunately, we will not have that game, as we'll be at the boys' game on Monday here at home, but that's going to be a great game. We'll have to see what happens right there if Franklin can make it either their 106th consecutive victory against a league opponent in that one, or all of a sudden is it Foxborough pulling off the upset. Foxborough, again, the number 5 team in Division III, their only loss coming to Division I powerhouse Walpole, who Franklin's had their struggles against recently as well. Final 10 seconds of this one, and that will do it here from Piscini Stadium. Is Franklin content to run it out? The Panthers, as we said, they'll be on the road for that game against Foxborough, and then they'll be on the road for another Hockomock League opponent. The Panthers, 2 straight road games coming into this one. They get things done here, though, back at home before they're back on the road for another 2 straight games. You're starting this game. Caitlin Carney brings on 4 goals to lead the charge as Franklin wins their 105 consecutive Hockomock League game by a score of 18-3. We thank you all for tuning in here. It was a great day. Pretty good weather so far. That sun peeked through a little bit, but in the end, the real sunshine was the Panthers. For my camera operator and producer, Chris Leverone, I'm Ryan Martin saying thank you again for watching. A big win for Franklin, who moves to 10-2 in the season. And we'll see you next time here for Franklin Girls Lacrosse on Franklin TV.